Welcome to the beginning of the episode. Chad is sick, and
I'm
Mike is late,
sick.
and Mike was late and has to leave. So, as every week, I will hold down the fort. I'm just joking.
All hail PK.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, definitely, yeah, definitely. All hail PK.
Um, so what do I do here? I just came back from an estimate, and I was asked to separate the estimate into three parts. You guys must get this. Give me one
Whoa,
price for this, then one price for this, then one price for this. But how do you send them three different prices without scaring the shit out of them and tell them if they do some of them or all of them, it's a better rate than if they do just one of them?
Oh, is it a phase thing and not like
No, no. Well, it, the whole job is maybe worth 6 grand, 7 grand. Like it's a tiny front entranceway,
I wouldn't
right?
separate that.
Yeah, but
I just
I
wouldn't.
mean,
I wouldn't even have agreed to it.
well, maybe
Or,
that's my first mistake.
well, no, I would. I'm not saying I wouldn't do a job. I would definitely do a job that size. I just, if someone's looking at like 150, like 150, or even if someone has like $60,000 job and you're like, hey, I can do 30, like just give me a cup, sure, but 6 grand, what do you like? This is $500.
Well,
This,
okay, so let me piece it out for you. It's a little flower bed, but the brick fill on the house is so low that you can only do it in like a curbing because you only have like maybe 6 inches to work with,
yeah,
right? So a row of brick and a curbing and throw some plants in there. Um, then you got another portion where they want to overlay the concrete step, which I fucking hate doing, by the way.
I hate it
Um,
too.
I never think it looks good. Actually, they formed my house front steps. They're like, do you want us to leave it low so you can put interlock? I said, not a fucking chance. I want to see that exposed concrete. I never want to cover a goddamn step again if I
I
can
hate,
avoid it.
I hate the gluing of stuff to the
Yeah,
face.
yeah. The whole riser, and it never works out. You can spend all day on the grinder, and it never works out the way you want it to. And people always want to use the super modern stuff. I'm like, it's not going to look how you think it's going to look. So,
Mm.
or maybe I'm not good at it. Maybe I just suck.
I don't like the way it looks either. I just my, like, I've never,
It
Nancy,
looks like you're hiding something.
Nancy loves the way it looks. So she puts it into every single quote. And the two things about it are it's expensive to do.
Yeah,
I don't like doing it. And there's not nearly as much money in it as doing regular
yeah,
pavers
yeah,
because people don't put the, unless you're wet laying it, people don't put the same value on it.
yeah.
And it's always something that people want to quote separately. And it looks ridiculously expensive when you quote it separately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just looks stupid. I've done it. I don't remember. I just did it for Nancy on a job as you wanted. And it was a weird oblong shape with a weird concrete step that didn't match anything that also had to be covered and was going to look stupid. And then another two like poured curved concrete steps. I don't remember the whole size, but the whole thing was going to be like 12 grand,
Yeah.
13 grand. And I was like, I feel like an idiot telling you it's $13,000 to cover this like small porch. But at $13,000, I think I probably cheated the number down because I was embarrassed.
You took money out of your own pocket.
No, I just was like, you look at
No,
the rest of the project and you say, okay, well, like I want the whole project. So if I don't price this and I don't do this, I don't get the whole project. So then, but then they say separate it out. And you're like, man, this number is going to look. There's some things when you separate them out, like that garden bed, that people will probably bite on that shit because people put such a high value on plants that you don't charge for.
yeah, true.
The
But I
other
mean,
stuff,
to me, if I needed to do that job just on its own, it's a half day job.
yeah.
Like it's a tiny, tiny job. Like two
But
guys
even
half
if
a
it's
day.
$500 worth of material and there's $500 worth of free plants, you're still probably 3 grand.
I'd hope so. Um, but
What were the other two
uh,
things? The
so
garden.
so that little garden, they
Oh,
want to
fuck. So
overlay the step, which has one of those stupid fucking like a pillar on the first step. So you have to cut the coping to go around it, and it's never a
Yeah.
really nice big piece, right? It's always like more than a full piece, and then you have a tiny little piece, and there's no way to make it look good because on the other side there's nothing for it to hold on to. So
Hmm.
one of those, and then a little 6x8 landing at the bottom, and maybe a couple strips down the driveway, but they don't know which side of the driveway they want to go down. So
How, like, when you're talking about spacing things out,
yeah,
and not having small pieces,
yeah.
what level of obsessiveness do you take that to? Not ending up with a small piece on the end.
I will cut 2 pieces instead of one tiny one for sure. You know what I mean?
I've cut a whole pool coping that was 4-foot pieces down to 3.5, so it worked out there wasn't a small piece.
Oh,
my
yeah.
God. Wow.
Because like it just wouldn't work. Like you would end up with these uneven pieces, and so we literally cut the whole side of the pool down to 3.5 and threw away tons of coping. But when you looked at the pool, it was perfect. Because I was like, I just can't have a small piece on one end. It just wouldn't. And I don't even live there. I've never been there. That was like 15 years ago. I've never
Never
even
invited back.
Did you
Some
make sure
have-
the client
some-
knew what you were doing?
No,
No?
they don't care either.
Well,
The only person that cared was me.
and the gram.
That was before Instagram, way
Oh.
before. I've done that like on tons of stuff, like stairs with coping, like with pieces of coping, and then like if you buy, say you buy like block Teco Venetian, and the coping is I think 15 3/4 or something, or like somewhere in there. Well, I've cut them all down to 12, so the lines were even.
I've wasted a lot of coping, natural stone, the expensive stuff.
Trying to do that.
I prefer it out of natural stone than I do out of
Yes,
paper
I do too.
Venetian, for sure.
Yeah. 100%.
My preference to build and keep the cost reasonable is natural stone coping, natural stone face, pavers in the inside.
That's an all right one.
Yeah.
The only shitty thing is most of the natural stone coping is 2 inches, and the pavers are 2 3/4. So you have to. We used to buy extra 1 inch and then set the coping up on the 1 inch and then cut the faces deeper so you can't see that extra space, and then set the pavers inside.
Oh.
Because the other, like, that's one of the reasons you don't see a lot of natural stone coping with pavers inside, because the pavers are too they're still too thick even at 15 mil, right?
Well, I do the blue 45, and then that I do like a little bit of sand underneath.
That would work too. We always used to put HPB.
Oh yeah,
which I'm
it's
sure
just that doesn't give you enough for HPB. It's like, what is 45?
Maybe we did do sand a few times. Maybe you're right.
That's like 1 3/4 inches or something like
That's a
that.
long
So
time
it doesn't give you enough for HPB.
I think we used to put the sliders under when people didn't want like blue 45. Like they wanted, it had to be some matching paver or some shit. I don't know. I remember boosting them all up so we could get the pavers in. But using the 45 stuff is obviously smarter. So that's why you're a better landscaper than me. I'm cutting pieces and figuring things out. Mike's like, whatever, man, just get the thinner stone, moron.
I did a small front walkway with blue 60, and I mixed in some blue 6x13 black to go with the shale gray. So the black 6x13s were mixed in. But they also wanted the same thing into their overlay. So I had to take the 6x13s, turn them on edge, and cut them to get them down to 45.
I've done that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's shit.
Yeah, that's not fun.
So many times in my life, I've put in some weird little design feature that I thought would look really cool, probably for Instagram, and then realized how, like, what you just did, and said, like, that just fucking blew up in my face.
Yeah.
This is fucked. Now I'm cutting these things in half, trying to find that out. And then I can't cut them perfectly smooth, so I end up putting sand and fucking leveling them by hand. And oh my god, so many times I've fucking we are pricing this big job, and it's way over budget to what Nancy had told the homeowners it would be, of course. Not way over, like 25%, maybe 30% over. And I had said to her directly, do not put any driveway banding in this fucking job, because driveway banding is the most expensive pavers you'll ever do in your whole life. and she immediately put in a bunch of driveway banding. It's like, again, I can't make this cheap. Like, I'm doing a full excavation for a 1 foot strip of pavers.
Yeah.
My choices are charge at the ass or lose a fuck ton of money.
Well, you know what I would do.
Same as me. I would obviously lose a fuck ton of money. So there was a contractor who poured the cement floor at our shop, and he called me today, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about buying this hook truck. Do you think I should get it?" And I was like, "Bro, you're calling the wrong fucking person." I was like, he's like, "It's a 2012. It's got a swap loader on it." I said, "Okay, where's the closest swap loader dealer?" He's like, "I don't know." I said, "Well, you better find out because you're going to need to know." I said, "Do you know anyone else with a swap loader truck that's can go and hook the bins when your truck breaks down because it's going to break down a lot?" No. Oh, wait, my buddy has an F650. I said, "Well, that's a different hook height, and his bins won't go
Yeah.
on this." So you need someone with the exact truck. You need to know that person, or need to buy a second truck. But there's only one for sale. I'm like, "Yeah, bro, you don't understand what you're getting into here. I have
Yeah.
3 trucks, so I know that one will work." I have 3 fucking trucks.
I have
So
$1 million worth of trucks so that one can run.
one will fucking run to pick up these bins. I said, and even then, sometimes I have to call my friend to go get the bins. Like, you are entering a world of pain, is what I said to him. Either buy it brand new. It's a F550 that he's looking at. That either buy it brand new and drive it till it's 5 years old and get the fuck rid of it, or be prepared to own 3 if you want to run one. It's like, well, if it just breaks down, it's not that big a deal. It's only working for me. I said, until the city of Toronto tells you to get the bin off the fucking road. No one else can, no other truck. Like, do you think that all these trucks running around can just pick up any bins anytime? I said, every truck can only pick up a very specific bin, man. I said, I don't even worry about, like, it's like, you called the wrong dude if you're looking for positive feedback on this.
At least you're being real with the guy, though, right?
I'm always real when I give advice about shit.
Yeah. Do you try and convince him maybe not to buy that small of a hook truck?
It's a 2012 F450 with a swap loader.
A 450.
Yeah.
So it can have the box on the back with maybe 2 ton legally?
Legally, yeah, because it's that the swap loader system weighs a lot.
So unless he's a carpenter or someone not in the landscape trades,
so
I don't know about this truck for this guy. That would have been my first thing.
It's an F, but people don't care about what you care. Well, but that's just
What do you mean? People don't care about the weight that their truck is legally allowed to carry?
Oh, you can, as long as you register it for whatever you're talking about on a G license. But if he has an AZ, he can register that truck for 100,000 pounds.
No, because the truck can't legally carry.
There's no limit on how weight limit you can put on any vehicle in Ontario.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay.
Like you can't limit, like your F350s, you can register them for 100,000 pounds.
Really?
But there's no point in it because your sticker is going to be $7,000 and you don't have any use for that. So all of my 2,500 pickup trucks are registered way heavier than they could ever haul, because when MTO comes behind me and they punch bar plates in, they see how heavy the truck's registered and they know I'm not overweight and they fuck off because they don't want to actually write real fines. They want to just find people with overweight dump. I used to do it with the dump trailers, because if you but you have to have AZ to drive them, or whatever, DZ to drive them that heavy.
Oh, really?
So, but yeah, the truck, you can, I mean, it's like, you're right. If the truck was like heaping, they're going to pull you over, and you could, in theory, be overweight for the truck, but the registered weight, no. Probably a weight restriction on the truck, but an F450's weight would haul way more than 2 yards.
See, we'll put 3 in an F550 and that's it. Like once the tires start to sag like that, no thanks, no more.
Yeah,
Make
I
a
haven't
second
had a
trip or
one.
take a
I
different
haven't
truck.
had a. I haven't had a 1 ton dump truck in a long time. I guess maybe they do only hold 3 yards,
Yeah, 3 tons.
3 tons.
Yeah.
So I guess you're right with the. Again, don't anyone start go registering their trucks and then get busted by MTO and fucking call me. Like, I'm just telling you how I do it. That's not a great representation of what, like, Darian's truck is registered super fucking heavy. Because in theory, we could have the float fully loaded and he could have the truck full.
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
The truck can legally haul 22.7, that truck, and the float's good for 27 ton. So just stuff on the truck without the weight of the truck. So the truck weighs 13, well, maybe 13.5. You can put 22.7 in it, or say 22.5 probably. And then the float you can put 27 on, and the float itself probably weighs, maybe you can put 25 on the float and the float weighs 5. Float weighs 10,000 pounds. Maybe that's what I have it all written down somewhere, but that's 30 ton, 52, 62, 60, you're talking almost 70 tons, so 140,000 pounds. That's why his stickers, like Christie's truck's registered the same because she tows the float sometimes too.
huh. Did they take half loads off down your
They
end?
did in our area, yeah. Not every road, but like 99% of them.
Nice. Ours come off on Tuesday of next week.
Oh,
So
yeah,
we'll be out there.
yeah. They took them off. As far as, did you get both your trucks back?
Nope, we got one.
That's not
So
bad.
50%.
In the dump truck world, if you get one back in a week, that's pretty good.
Yeah. But the other one's been 3 weeks now. And the
Mm.
last I heard, he couldn't start it to get into the shop. So that's always my biggest thing. When they won't start to get them somewhere, that's when I panic the most. Because how the fuck am I going to get it started? How am I going to get it to where it needs to go to even begin to be looked at?
You gotta get it towed.
Yeah, I don't want to pay $600 to get the truck towed.
Oh, I paid many
Especially, like, I
thousands of
could
dollars
push
to
it.
get trucks towed.
Yeah, I know, but I don't like doing it. To me, that's the worst kind of money spent.
Uh, things like that used to bother me.
Yeah.
Now I don't. There's not that much that could happen that would really bother me anymore.
Yeah.
It's kind of be like, this is what we got to do in this moment. If we don't do it, there's no other. I agree with you. It sucks, but there's just no other solution. So this is what we're doing right now, and then we do it. And then I
See, that's easier to stomach when there's a lot of work coming in and there's other things to worry about. Right now,
true.
there's not a whole lot coming in, so there's a lot of things that I spend more time
You're
worrying about than
currently
I should.
splitting up a $6,000 job.
Yeah, that's how my season is going.
Yeah.
I pre-quoted someone through email. They were looking for a bunch of trees and stuff. Like, oh yeah, yeah, great, come out and see it. Went out to see them. Everything was the same as like during the pre-quoted. Nothing, no surprises here. It's been a week. No fucking phone call back. Nothing. Like, I was almost sure we had that one, but I guess not. So things are
Jack and
going.
Jack and I missed it was well over. It was, I think it was close to $800,000 tender by less than 1%.
Wow. Right on. Hmm.
Right
Nice.
That's good.
on.
That's
That
good.
sucks.
No, that's well, at least you know your numbers for the next time.
I really needed that 800 grand. Well, perfect. Yeah, we do know our numbers. Oh, I'm not saying there isn't some positives to take from it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. That hurts, but the
I'm
silver
not saying there
linings
isn't
are
some
close.
positives to take from it. I just, you know, less than 1% on 800 grand.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
maybe we'll get the next one.
for sure you'll get the next one.
That's my whole life this year. I'll get the next one.
There's always the next one.
I'll get the next one.
Me, the next one's not even coming. Like the phone's not ringing, nothing. Like I'm shaking the retailer by the collar, but like, give me some leads. I need some work. I have two guys that should be back that aren't back because we don't have enough. Waiting on the city to release the winning bid for the tree tender that we priced a couple weeks ago, and Everything. Nothing's coming up. One of my pools got pushed back.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Damn.
It was all ready to go, get me in first thing in the spring, and then the pool company we're going with can't do it till August. Son of a bitch. Here we go. So, guess that's just how it's gonna be.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Phones
We'll see.
This is usually the time when the phones start to ring anyways.
Yeah, I suppose. I went to. Oh, I got a call for one today. It's a job we did 8 or 9 years ago. She's like, "Oh, my sand is deteriorated. Can you come and put new sand in?" And I said, "Absolutely. What time can I come and look at the job?" Like, not me at all. Like, what the fuck am I doing? My God,
Who have I become?
who have I become? Yeah, holy shit. And if I didn't have so many mouths to feed, it wouldn't be so bad. But with a crew of 8, I mean, if we can just make it till after summer, we'll be laughing. But nothing's ready until then anyway. So
Yeah.
I keep saying like we priced one job I thought would be pretty easy to close, and then that got insanely complex in like 10 seconds. Not insanely complex, but more like, can you give me a breakdown of every item you're supplying, including the labor for that item?
Oof.
ooh.
And normally I would have been like, yeah, you can. If I even responded to your email without just deleting you out of my life and blocking you on every device, I would have. If I did happen to send an email back, it would have been unpleasant. This year, I took a deep breath, waited 8 hours till I was calm, because it was also something that was not supposed to ever happen to us again with this particular client. A deal was cut, a deal was made on how these things would be, and this was not part of it. So I wrote back a polite email listing every item we were supplying and the labor I had attached to that item.
Wow.
And then where all the money was in the bid that we put together.
Oof.
Where
Huh.
like 407 cost.
Who
Ooh.
have you guys both become?
Yeah.
I'm getting fatter, so I'm not a shadow of my former self.
You're an eclipse of your former self.
I'm an eclipse. I've been trying to think of because obviously the reviewing food content is popular. It doesn't get me any work, but nothing I do does. So, but I've there's been some concerns about my overall health. With my probably weigh like 360 pounds. So that's potentially a problem. The Veloster gets better mileage when someone else drives it.
How are you going to plug that into your software?
I don't know. I'm getting into software because, like I said, I believe that software creates an augmented reality where whatever you type in, it just becomes true in the real world. So I'm just going to start typing into my software that I weigh less, and then when people say you don't weigh 200 pounds, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I put it into my fucking software. Mike weighs 200 pounds. We were only burning this much fuel. So I think I'm going to start a series. Did you see that? I don't know if you guys saw it today, but McDonald's brought out these things where it's 2 sandwiches combined together.
It's
awesome.
See that.
Well, like for the hardscaper that's on the go, you don't have to eat a junior chicken and a cheeseburger. It's just one big fucking sandwich now.
Is that the
Wow.
McGangbang?
No, it's called one was called a chicken cheeseburger. And it was a junior chicken and a cheeseburger mixed together.
Yeah.
And one was called a surf and turf, and it was 2 hamburgers, a fillet of fish patty mixed together.
Oh.
Yeah, that one was not that great. I have never really wanted to have hamburger and fish in my mouth at the same time.
Yeah.
Like I've never sat down to a pot of ground beef and fish stew. Like I just listen. Anyways,
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm thinking about. I think that in the not this week. This week is a write off, and I also had said I was gonna. I had a lot of food to eat around the house to get rid of stuff. So
The
well,
milk.
gotta drink the milk, baby. Um, I think I'm gonna do a. I've looked at a bunch of diet plans because obviously I don't want to die. Well, today, but when you're a contractor, every day is the roll of the dice. Um, uh, so I think I'm gonna. I've looked at all the diet plans. I've looked at all the different things, but I'm gonna do a landscaper version of keto, and I think I'm gonna do like a weigh-in every week, and I'm gonna do like a whole series of me unsuccessfully trying to lose weight.
Nice.
Wow.
So,
Are you
but I
gonna
hope,
do a workout plan like
oh God, no,
75 hard?
I can't even get in and out of the car. What are you talking about?
What about another
I-
juice cleanse? Didn't
A
you do a
juice
juice
cleanse.
Kelly brought up the juice cleanse. She said we should do another juice cleanse. I said I'm cleansed for life. I am life cleansed. I think that me blazing a trail of hardscaper keto. This could become like I could put it behind a subscriber wall. I'm going to teach you how to hardscaper keto behind my subscriber wall.
Is this the PK's flip side?
I started the flip side. Didn't I
Did you?
invite? Yeah, I thought I invited you. It's
Yeah.
weird. It works really weird. It doesn't let you just invite anyone to it. It only it wouldn't let me find anyone. I did start posting on it, and it's only like legitimate landscaping stuff. And then I only put like clients and stuff in it so that it clients would see it. I'll open it up, Mike, and I'll see if I can add you. Because I didn't know if because you're supposed to be able to add, I think, anyone that you follow.
But how do I get to your flip side?
It just comes up, it just comes into your feed and it says it's the flip side.
Oh,
So here, let me see if
but can I go into your profile and find your flip side?
I don't know if I've invited you yet.
Oh,
Because it didn't give me okay, I'm inviting you right now.
Chad, have you been invited?
I think so. Yeah.
So I see what happens and see how it works. I think when the posts come through, it might say Paver King flip side. No one's added me to their flip side. I don't think I'm the only person on the planet using this, much like notes.
Yeah, I still don't get the flip side. I don't know why they did this.
Did it come up and tell you that I was inviting you to the flip side?
Which one? The How to Hardscape?
No, I am
Okay, I'll
Hearts.
go over there and check.
I can invite the How to Hearts. Now it's letting me invite anyone to the flip side. It wasn't letting me the other day.
Oh yeah, it says you added me to your flip side.
Maybe
I'm in the flip side. Welcome to flip side. See their flip side. Yeah, you got a few posts there.
and the color of it is a white Paver King.
Yeah, but how do I get to it? Now I just backed out. Now I'm back on your
I bet
profile.
if you go to my profile, there's a key in the bottom, maybe.
Oh, that's what it is. Got it. Yeah. That makes sense now. That's interesting. I wonder what the purpose of this is. Not of your flip side, of flip side in general.
I don't know. So the only reason I'm doing it is because now I have a place where it's only I'm only posting legit posts about the company. There's no fucked up. And you know what's funny? I started this to post only legitimate posts about the company on this flip side. And then like the second post, I started like making up some goofy posts and I was like, okay, I'm 2 posts in and I'm fucking this up. Like I'm totally fucking up the flip side and I'm 2 posts in. I kind of like having a flip side, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what it does.
I think the flip side exists so that you can pump the tires on your OnlyFans without your family seeing it.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
I think
No.
that's the connection. I could be wrong. Been
So
wrong
you're
once or
right
twice.
because like when I share something on the flip side, the only there's now 127 people on my flip side, and that's the only people that see it.
Yeah. So
That
your mom
one.
wouldn't see it.
No,
Right.
unless I invited her.
So
POV or a landscaper on the news.
Chad sent me that, so I put it
Yeah.
into the group chat.
I sent it to both you guys, but I
Oh.
can't send it from my landscape daddy.
Oh yeah.
But
He's the jobber. I feel like that whole news thing is like some fake AI generated thing.
Can you imagine?
Well, it just says News Nation with no TV channels on it, no fucking. This is the fakest looking newscast I've ever seen. Look at it. There's no like. You tell me the last time you saw a newscast that looked like that didn't say like what channel it was being broadcast from.
could be.
Yeah,
That's some smoke and mirrors, man.
It's even tagged at News Nation now, and if you click on it, there now it loads. It wasn't loading for me before.
It's probably some Instagram channel someone made up where you can pretend you're on the news.
But they don't have any posts or anything.
Maybe he made
it
up
says
the
it
whole
can't
thing.
load posts. Do you guys get that same thing?
I didn't look it up. I
People
wasn't.
in Canada can't see this content.
Oh.
Oh,
Great. Great.
It's the news, bitches.
Wow, that's the first time I've seen that.
I've been taxed so much in my life that the carbon tax went on the gas and I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, that's
wow.
right.
Because I just been taxed so much in my life that
That's an ad for Justin Trudeau if I never fucking heard of him before. I
especially
didn't
in
even notice.
the last 8 years, I've been like taxed so much, and we pay so much for everything now that it doesn't even faze me. Like I don't even. I'm like, oh, sure, whatever.
Yeah, I suppose.
We're having some people have started calling us for bins and stuff, so that's good.
That's good.
Nice. My accountant called me yesterday, and he says your personal HST is ready for signing and pickup. I said, "Oh, great! How much do I owe this year?" It's like, well, actually, because my bookkeeper and I decided that we were gonna overpay all year, I'm getting $20,000 back
Wow.
on my personal side. I'm like, fuck, that is.
Why are you paying personal HST?
Because I get a paycheck from my corporation.
That's personal income tax, not personal HST.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Not personal, not HST. I was wrong.
Personal income tax.
Okay, this is making because I'm like, man,
I told you,
is there some tax I'm not paying? I literally just talked about how I'm taxed so much, and I'm like, man, I gotta start paying personal HST. I get a paycheck. Fuck.
Oh my goodness. My goodness.
What about Chad's audit?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. Haven't heard a thing. They said they'd be done by February, beginning of February. It's what are we, April 3rd?
Yeah.
April something? Nothing. I asked my accountant about it. He's like, well, CRA's year end is end of March, so you should probably hear something soon. I'm like, well, I guess so. So usually they'll come back with a deal. I'm like, what deal? They already have all my money. Like, I think they're trying to make a deal for more of my money.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like,
that makes me think that he knows something's going on that he hasn't told you.
No. He would be absolutely transparent. He's paid to be transparent.
But I'm saying if he said they'll come back to you with a deal, I would have been like,
yeah, but a CRA has done this a million times before, right? So he knows they've come back to people with deals. Not necessarily my deal, but he knows that they come back with.
But that would infer that you did something wrong.
Well, isn't that CRA? Would they, if they didn't think I did anything wrong, they wouldn't look in the first place.
No, they'd probably look more because that means they don't have to work as hard.
Okay. Either way, if I did something wrong, it was by accident. If I didn't do anything wrong, well, then it's my own fault for not doing anything wrong, and they couldn't catch me for it.
The CRA is more likely to investigate you if they think you're not doing anything wrong. Because then they can all go to work, they can all do their jobs, there's very little confrontation, and then they go about their business. If you are a total fuck up, they don't have any interest in.
They won't poke the hog.
I was talking to a guy who has owed 7 figures in HST for almost 2 years. They haven't even contacted him.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they don't care because they don't want the
They don't care.
confrontation. They don't want the. They'd rather harass you for $100.
Well, I'll give them $100. Get off my back.
But like they don't want to deal with him because dealing with him is a shit ton of work for them. Like that is a lot. Like if you are an auditor who's going to figure out that mess and deal with getting that money paid, that is a lot of fucking work. You have to work hard every day. You have to work at it. If you go and audit natural design landscapes, that's no work. Because you know there's nothing wrong. So you can, and then you can report to your boss, look, I audited this company, but you don't really even have to do anything because you know there's fucking nothing wrong with the company.
They should have to be completely transparent with you with like what triggered this, why you, was it just like a out of the blue type of thing that they just choose somebody at random? Like I don't know why for a public position it can't be completely transparent.
It's a government thing.
Yeah,
It's
nothing in
never
the government's
transparent.
transparent anymore.
Well, yeah,
Like,
but
but
should be.
Oh,
absolutely,
yeah,
should
100%.
be. Technically, they're supposed to work for us, are they not?
Yeah.
So
I was listening to Caleb's podcast today, and he was talking about how the government is nothing but a monopoly on violence, and the tax money they're charging you is the protection from their violence. If you don't pay taxes, the cops come.
Yeah,
They're the only one. They have a monopoly on legal violence.
they're the mafia.
And then if you don't pay them, then the violence comes to your front door, and that's why
Protection money.
everyone pays under the threat of violence.
They've got the military.
And it's true.
They say that they'll protect us
When he said
as long
it's
as you keep
absolutely
paying.
true. As long as you keep paying. As long as you pay your taxes, the police won't come to your we won't come to your door, we won't raid your house, we won't put you in jail, but you better keep paying. And if you try to do something to us violent to say I don't want to pay, then you're a horrible person and a traitor. It's a monopoly on violence, which when he said it, I was like, wow, that was really smart. I wish I had thought of that, not him.
well, you can claim you said it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck. So today I was driving along by myself, not listening to anything, thinking that the government collecting taxes is a monopoly on violence. We'll just Mike edit out the 5 minutes before.
Will do.
We won't give that is just purely straight from me. Yeah. It's
I
just
got a separate CRA call today.
Ooh.
Sorry, Mike, I didn't mean to cut you off.
well, that's okay.
You're free to carry on.
Oh, I just
I can come in after.
all of these people are just doing as little as possible. And the thing, if you're doing as little as possible as an auditor, would you really want to find anyone that has a legit problem and have to actually scour their books looking for shit? Or would you rather just consistently audit people where you know there's absolutely nothing wrong with their books? If you're trying to do as little as possible.
I wonder if those people that haven't paid are just so obvious that they don't put somebody on that case.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm just like,
we need an auditor on this
show. I would love to know when the last time a CRA auditor got fired. Because that would tell you whether or not there's anyone tracking the amount they produce and what they do.
Yeah.
And that's something, Mike, that should be public record too.
It should be. I wonder if it is though too.
I don't know. But if no CRA auditors have been fired in the last 48 months, you know that no one gives a fuck about what they're doing.
Right.
And if no one gives a fuck about what they're doing, like what they're doing, it's someone, and I'm not, whatever.
Who's auditing the auditors?
Oh, I don't know. Like at a big company, you would have to, if you were auditing companies as a business, you would have to produce so much work, like so much revenue from that per hour.
Yeah.
like in theory, the CRA shouldn't be auditing anyone that can't produce enough revenue from that audit to pay for the auditor's salary. If it's going to cost the CRA 30 grand in revenue to audit you, and the most they know they could ever collect from you is $10,000, they should ignore it and move on. Because that's the government taking a $20,000 loss.
Yeah, but the government subsidizes everything with our money. They subsidize the news stations and
Oh, no.
obviously
Yeah.
CRA and fucking the car companies and everything.
So what was your other CRA problem, Jeff?
So this super nice lady called me today. She's like,
This
"Hi, I'm
makes me
calling
not
about
want to
your."
do this podcast with you. They're listening.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Well, so this is my last podcast, guys. No, this super nice lady from the CRA called and she's like, "I have a question about your 2016 um, tax return for your sole proprietorship because that was before we incorporated." And I'm just like, "What?" She's like, we're trying to process the rebate for $7,000 or something like this." And I'm just like, "What?" Um, I'm just like, "Well, I have no clue. Like 2016, like I don't even think you can go back that far. Like I'm pretty sure you're only
7
allowed to go
years.
back 7 years, right?" I'm like, "You may have to call the accountant, call the CRA, gave him the number and everything." She's like, "Okay, I'll do that. So just let me know if you have a check to send me."
Were they trying to
It's
give
like,
you 7 grand?
well, I don't know. Maybe she was trying to catch me in something, or she's like, "You claim zero, but there's a $7,000 rebate or something like that." Like, you know how you ever see that thing where the news state or the police, they're trying to catch a bunch of criminals at the same time, so they tell them they won something,
Yeah.
but you have to come down to this mall to pick it
Oh,
up, and
yeah.
whenever they get to the mall, they arrest them. I'm thinking they're trying to pull that thing on me. I'm like,
You get
no,
to the
no.
mall and it's just all CRA.
Yeah,
They're doing
yeah.
speed audits. You got to go from table to table, like it's speed dating or whatever.
Uh, I don't know. I'm excited to
How
get this
many
whole thing
interactions
wrapped
a
up.
year do you have with the CRA?
Yeah, no
Well,
kidding.
I never thought I would have this many, and
Do you think it's a
I'm from
derivative of your company building a house?
no, because that only started this year, which I'm completely allowed to do. The CR or the our CRA, yeah, chartered, registered RCA. What's your accountant called?
CPA. CRA?
CPA?
Yeah, CPA.
Whatever. My accountant said you can completely do this. It's all legit. Like he's a straight shooter, man. Like he won't let me write off my vacations and stuff. So, like, we're not in any hot water. But he's like, you can definitely do this. So anyway, I didn't think I would have this many interactions with them, and I thought I had shielded myself from the CRA with the bookkeeper and the accountant and everything because I really have nothing that I can tell them. I don't know what they do with the numbers once they get printed on a receipt and I hand that receipt in. I can't tell that story. I don't know what those numbers mean after they're gone from my wallet or whatever. Right?
So you just refer them? Call this person.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, that's what they're paid for.
Yes.
Do you get a bill from your accountant for that time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Put it in somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not afraid to charge, that's for sure.
Do you think accountants are like lawyers?
Not necessarily as bad.
Yeah, I don't
But
think so.
The problem with all those people is it's not advantageous to solve your problem for them.
well, it is if they want to work with me next year. I'm not.
No, but I'm saying it's advantageous to drag the problem out.
Yeah.
Accountants less than lawyers.
Yeah.
That's the thing with landscaping. Almost never is there a situation where it's advantageous to drag out something on someone's property.
True.
We've dragged out a job until half loads were off.
In 2 more
That makes
weeks, you'll
sense.
be dragging that job out.
They're going to be on the horn next Wednesday. Half loads are off. When are you coming? Like, holy shit! It rained 40 mils today.
It rained a lot here today too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tons.
Yeah.
It seems like it's raining everywhere.
It was fucking pouring. I had to go get more pedestals because I needed more really expensive plastic.
I bought a lot of expensive plastic too.
I've talked about pedestals so much near my phone that in one of the algorithms of one of the social medias, I don't know, remember which one, it showed this kid doing this like crazy BMX bicycle jump off of a set of
I
stairs.
saw that. Yeah.
And when he landed
Oh,
on
I saw that too.
a paver that's on pedestals and went
Yeah.
right through into the roof.
I think Caleb posted that, did he not?
Oh, did he?
Maybe that's where it came up. Maybe Caleb posted it. Yeah. Like I've talked about pedestals. So you know what was great? I got CRM'd, which was sick because I've CRM'd lots of people in my life. Yeah. I got CRM'd this week by the Unilock rep.
Oh,
Yeah.
they called
Wait,
you
what's
up?
CRM?
She customer relationship manager.
Yeah.
It's like Salesforce. It's like a program where a program I may or may not have used in my former life as a brief life as a manufacturer rep. So basically what it does is it tracks all your interactions with everyone you meet every day. And then that way your manager can log on to it and they can see it also tracks all your sales and all your clients. But one of the main things it's used for is so that they can fire you and the next person can just log into the CRM and have all your clients' phone numbers. You can't take your book with you. Because back in the day when you fired a salesperson, they would pick up their Rolodex and take it to the next company. And how do you stop that? The relationships are all there. But now you punch everything into a CRM so that when I quit, Chad, and you take over my job at the manufacturer, they teach you how to log in the CRM. And now you have every person that I interacted with for my whole time there. And you have their phone number, their name. You're supposed to put in like
Great.
you're supposed to put in like everything you know about their business. So that if you're going to a site visit, you can read it, learn about them, and then be educated about their business and sell more product.
A couple weeks ago, I had a buddy that left a big construction company to go work for the counties. And I didn't know that he didn't take his phone number with him whenever he left. I thought I had always had just his personal phone number, right? So I texted him. I said, "Hey, if you ever need a 20-ton shovel at the counties and you don't want to use your old company, give me a shout," right? The new guy responds, "Hey, this is Kevin. Did you want me to pass that message along?" And I was like, "Ugh." Forget it. Never responded to the guy. But,
I would have responded. No, what I want you to use my 20-ton shovel.
they have 50 20-ton shovels.
Doesn't matter. Use mine,
Well,
Kevin.
use
You're
mine,
new.
Kevin. Yeah,
You
you're
gotta-
new.
You're you. Use it, Kevin.
That was my favorite thing about the city inspectors is buttering up the new guys, like to train them to be the type of new guy that you can work with. You know, like
Like the new guy that likes double doubles.
yeah, like, hey Ben, what are you taking your coffee? And you get him that, and you just build the relationship, but you're molding him at the same time. I think it's called grooming.
Yeah.
Not what P.
But
Diddy did.
Yeah, not quite the same, but you're basically
Did they
molding.
arrest that guy yet?
No, I think he's on the run. I think he's in Antigua.
That we're really. That's not the inspector that Chad knows. We're talking.
No.
You're trying to make that guy inspect the way you want inspections done.
Yeah, like I want things to roll out in my favor, right? And not nitpick the little things. And
At one of our jobs, the landscape architect is notoriously hard to deal with. But really, I think it's a respect thing. She just feels like she makes requests and people don't take her seriously and they don't follow through, and then that becomes a big thing. So I had a meeting with Ricky, who's running the site, and I was like, listen, when this lady comes, I don't give a shit what she asks you to do. Just do it immediately. Don't debate it. Don't give her a hard time. It's not worth the fight. She can make our lives living hell. I don't give a shit what she's asking you to do. You do it, and it's just easier. And if we got to write off a guy's labor doing inane, stupid tasks every day, that is way more productive than her. Although in my augmented spread or my augmented software reality, I don't account for her because she doesn't exist in my software.
That's sexist.
I don't. No, in my augmented reality, I just build whatever I want every day. Amazing. Why are you on this show, Mike?
I think we've already cleared that up. You guys don't know how to press record.
Yes, I'm just looking at you. I'm talking about the software, and you're like nodding. Like, oh my god, Mike. I am just making fun of it. I'm not. I wouldn't make fun of it if I didn't love it.
You
Is
sure?
that true? No. Wow. Let's just use that. Now I've totally lost my train of thought. What I was talking about. Oh, so she showed up and came up to Ricky. Like an hour later, she showed up and came up to Ricky and said, "Can you guys start watering? We got to get the watering going. These plants are dying. We need the watering to start." Like it's
Wait, she said this recently?
yeah. Like the start of the week.
Did you point out the fact that it's March?
In the end of oh yeah, she just said it. They were up there. They were up on the roof. What were they doing that day? Spreading soil. This was like maybe a week ago, and it was like raining every day, or it rains a little bit, and there's snow. It was right after that storm where the snow had melted and the whole 9 yards. You know what his response was? That's no problem. We'll
ma'am.
get right on it. I just need to bring some more hoses tomorrow. Is it okay if we start tomorrow? She said, yeah, start tomorrow. It was like raining. There's a guy out there watering in March. I said to Rick today, hey, you never took that extra hose. I left it out for you. You got I can't micromanage you. He goes, man, listen, we put one hose on and fucking Kyle was watering. I don't know what you want me to do. He goes, I need 5 hoses to get to everywhere, but do we really need to I just needed to physically water something. So he did. And that way, when she comes, there's the hose there and we watered something. Because it's like rained 40 fucking mil.
So she's got a victim mentality, is what you're saying.
No, I think.
Well, you said nobody listens to her.
That's part of the problem.
But that's the reason that nobody listens to her. Is she's got a stupid idea.
Well, also, no one listens to any landscape architects.
Rightfully so, in my opinion.
Destroying a man's vision. That's what one guy said to me. The way that you've put these plants in, you've destroyed a man's vision.
That's great.
Unless you can build it yourself, you don't get to have that vision. That's my opinion on
That's aggressive.
on the matter. Well,
so
you can have all these grand fucking ideas, but don't fucking piss and moan about it if you can't do it yourself.
Well, there's something to that.
Otherwise, they're going to take all the credit for it in the end.
They do anyways.
Well, yeah, but that's my reasoning behind it, right? If you can't do it yourself, then you don't get to complain about it or talk about how you're ruining something. Your vision wasn't achievable in the first place if you couldn't do it yourself.
Whose project is it? The designers or the contractors?